Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere. I'm Keith. I'm your GM. I'm your Keeper of Secrets. With us today is Dr. Elliot Knight, Blake Emberlich, Ivan Petrovich III, Professor Gregor, and Vince Pascal. Except it's not really them, because we traveled from Earth, from our world, from our city of New Eden. We travel from that through a mist, and we find ourselves in the lands of Barovia, just outside the village of Barovia. And you've made your way inside. And the first thing you did is you encountered an old woman selling pies.
Hate that lady.
Dr. Elliot got very heated with her when she refused to share her secret ingredients. She is now walking away from you, but she pauses for a moment. She turns back and looks over her shoulder. When you're ready to go home, come see me. My pies can help. And then she turns back and starts walking away. And you hear her singing under her breath. She's humming under her breath. And you make out the words sugar, spice, snails, puppy dog tails, things like that as she's humming under her breath going away.
So why did we turn those down? They smelled delicious.
Because everything about them was a red flag.
Actually, one moment. Miss, I've had a terrible change of heart. May I indeed purchase one of your pies? I'm terrible.
Oh, my sweetheart, you certainly can have one of my pies. Just one gold piece. Do you have a gold piece on you?
Do I? Do I have a gold piece on me? He sort of rifles his pockets, and he pulls out a single silver coin. And he looks very disappointed.
I'm sorry, that's not going to be enough. You should have some gold with your characters from the starting equipment for them. It might only be like 5 gold pieces.
Ivan hands you a
could be
gold.
considerably
Here.
more.
Oh!
You could pay me back later.
Oh, thank you.
Ivan was ready to buy that pie already.
Rax just rolls his eyes and says, "Okay, you guys enjoy whatever happens next."
He takes the pie. He doesn't eat it, to be clear.
She opens her little house on her cart, showing you all the pies, and she asks you, which one would you like?
Oh, what are the flavors?
I don't know. They're different for everybody. If you pick the one that you like, it will be the one that suits you the most.
Oh, thank you.
And she whispers to you, you know, we do make them with magic.
Oh. Oh, I'm vividly aware. And he'll take one at random, to him anyway.
You grab pie number 7 and you take it out. What's the pie smell like to you?
It smells like incense, and like those sort of big, those little shaky, like a sort of incense that you would find at a cleric lighting for some sort of ritual.
Like sage, maybe?
Yeah, like sage.
What do you do with the pie?
He takes it and he smiles and thanks her and lets her go on her way.
And she smiles. When you're ready for another one, come see me.
Indeed.
We have an old windmill. We run a grindstone there for the villagers to help grind their seeds down into grain, into flour. You're welcome to come anytime. And she starts pushing the cart off, and she's singing. And after a few seconds, she goes to the door, knocks on it, and waits. And then no one comes out. And she goes back to the street, starts pushing her cart down. Your pie is still warm, by the way.
Are you
not hot, but it is warm.
Are you cutting into that now?
Oh, I think, the area around him, is there like somewhere to sit, like a bench or a fountain or a crumbling rock? You know?
I think we should go.
Yeah,
up the roots.
you are looking around, and there are some old crates that have been pushed against an empty building. This is one of the buildings that the windows have been boarded up, the doors are sealed shut, and next to it are some old crates. They are very weathered, but they also look like they'd serve as a place to sit.
He will have a seat there with the pie, and when he's quite sure that she's out of sight, he will reach into his backpack and pull out an alchemy kit.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. She has gone to the end of the street, and instead of turning around, you see her pause for a moment and look back at the village. And she shakes her head. And then she turns and walks into the forest, into the mist, past the shadows that move low to the ground.
I forgot about them.
Oh. Thankfully, truth may be found other ways besides trying to get them out of people, which are terribly unreliable in that way. And he'll start to unpack the alchemy kit.
You're
It's a
So
little
you're gonna-
Bunsen.
put some chemicals on that and ruin it.
I intend to find out our fine pie seller's secret recipe if I can. My
Oh,
alchemy is... Oh, is it rusty or is it practiced? I cannot. Different rules ring about in my mind about its use and practices. But I will do my best to come out in this matter.
Hey, Vince Brax, whatever you're calling yourself. Do you
Yes?
want to go to the tavern?
Yes, I do want to go to the tavern. Would you
Okay,
like to
let's
join
do
me in
that.
the tavern?
Yes,
All
very
right.
much.
I'm
Now,
going to stay here and see him pull a finger out of this thing. This is a Sweeney Todd situation for
yeah,
sure.
there you go. So Vince and Blake head to the tavern, and Vince and Rax's personalities are clashing here because Rax needs an ale, but Vince will not drink. And this is a place where they're going to clash. And I'm actually going to roll a die here. And 10 or above, Vince wins out and he doesn't drink. Or 11 or above, Vince wins out and he doesn't drink. 1 to 10, he does.
The classic Dungeons and Dragons relapse save.
I mean, it's because these are two different characters. Vince is the one with the drinking problem. Rax isn't. So 8. Rax wins out and convinces Vince that it's okay. And so they go to the tavern and Rax has an ale.
Actually, before you drink that, Blake puts an arm on you and Vince. You sure about that?
Blake, I am Rax here. Rax can drink.
That's a hell of a rationalization, but I'm not going to stop you.
happens in Barovia stays in Barovia.
And so, Rax has a beer, and there's a part of there's kind of there's a conflict there, but Rax convinces Vince that it's not going to affect Vince when he gets back to wherever he comes from. That may be true, that may not be, but Rax wins out here. That's what the roll said, and that's what happens. So I think he goes up to the bartender and says, "We're new in town."
I can tell.
And he orders an ale, and he says, "What can you tell me?" Get the voice back. What can you tell me about why is there such a weight to the air here?
The bartender looks at you and he serves your drinks, he answers your questions, but he has this like 1,000-yard stare about him. And when you ask why there's such weight here, he tilts his head to the side. I don't understand what you mean. What sort of weight?
I'd like to roll insight on him.
You may.
Hold on. Yeah, let me do that real quick. Just see if I can get a sense of where he's coming from. That's an 11. Probably not, but I mean, maybe I'll get something.
He generally seems confused by your question.
Can you tell me about the woman selling pies?
This costs too much.
Okay. Does that mean money, or does that mean that they do something to you?
As he looks at you and says, yes. And you hear a throat clear from a shadowy corner in the back of the bar. And you look, and there is a man, human, probably in his mid-20s, shoulder-length white hair, pale skin. Yes, I'm afraid you're not going to get much more out of him than that. He's not the most talkative person.
And are you?
Can be. Come, join me.
I join him. Yeah.
Eric, one more round for all of us. Bring a bottle. And he invites you down. He pushes out the chair next to him with his foot to allow you to sit down.
I sit.
And he stands rather shakily as he gets up there. He shakes a little bit, wobbles, stops, and does a slight bow, and then sits back heavily in his chair.
Can you tell me why you just did that?
Just showing respect.
Fair. Appreciate
Come,
it.
sit.
So, my name's Blake. This is Rex. You are...
Is Mark.
Mark.
Is Mark. I is Mark.
We could have who's on first thing. My name is Mark. Mark? No, is Mark. Mark. Is Mark. No, is Mark. Mark.
That's what I said. It is Mark.
Ismark, have you been here a while?
I have lived here my entire life. What brings you here? We don't get a lot of strangers in town.
If you'd believe it, an old lady, some tarot cards, some mist, and now we're here.
Rax remembers. I've been here a week or so, but not in this town. I've been elsewhere. This is the first time I'm entering the town. As to why, let me just say I'm figuring that out.
Sounds like you spoke to one of the Vistani. He's looking at Blake when he says that. The cards. Old woman.
She used that word too. She told us that we needed to find them. And also something about a missing kid. Do you know anything about that?
Missing kid. No, I'm afraid not. I don't know anything about any missing kids. Although my sister's out and about somewhere. She's supposed to be staying home, but she keeps insisting on going over to the church, trying to talk to the priest there. Not so sure that's a good idea.
Rax says, so you've brought us over here to tell us things. So what do you have to tell us?
Oh, I was hoping you'd tell me something. Like what brought you here, why you're in town, what services you are hoping to offer.
Vince gives a toothy grin. What services are you in need of?
An escort. I am in need of an escort.
Where are you trying to get to?
There is a town in the center of this kingdom, this land, Valaki. I believe my sister would be safer there than here.
You need an escort just
But-
for your sister, or would you come with her?
I have business here that prevents me from leaving.
Well, tell us more about your sister.
She has drawn unwelcome attention from a gentleman. It is my hope that I can remove her from his influence. Take her somewhere safe.
This gentleman wouldn't happen to be well dressed, tall, wears a cloak, has creepy rings, maybe has a face that no one can remember.
Don't know. I think you would remember his face if you saw him, but that description does seem appropriate for him.
Does he have a name?
He's the count of these lands. Is considered ill to speak his name out loud, that it brings danger to those who utter it.
We
I
shall
will
not
tell
say
you.
it out loud.
I will tell you his name. Strahd von Zarevich. He has been the ruler of this land since before my father.
Do you think that Rax would have heard that name before? If he's been in this area for a week?
Make a history check.
That's a good idea. Stand by.
I was gonna say,
History.
does it rhyme with smacula?
I got a 3. I know nothing. I rolled a 1. No, I rolled a 2.
There are points. I think at this point the Vince in you is really trying to rally against the Rax in you because of the alcohol.
Yeah,
and
that makes
because
sense.
of that you're having trouble focusing. Blake, you feel like you're on to the right track here in the direction your thoughts are going.
Okay. You happen, Ismark, have you happened to see a bunch of other new people come through town? I'm not sure if that's like a regular occurrence.
It is not a regular occurrence, and it is strange that you should ask. Yes, one of the children in the village has told me that they saw a group of Histani with a group of strangers, not just outside the village gates. Could it have been 2 nights ago? No, I think it was only 1 night ago.
When you say group of strangers, how many?
It is a child, sometimes they have trouble exaggerating, but sounded like about 20. They never came into the village, though.
Do you know where they went?
Do not.
I turn to Blake and I say, I think we found our circus audience.
Yeah, I guess these Vistani people are involved with whatever's going on. I guess we need to find them.
They are the chosen of the Count. There are those among them who may travel freely as they wish.
I assume
Unlike
that's not a
me
good
and
thing.
the others here. It's a good thing if you're one of the chosen, I suspect. Although, I guess it depends on what he's choosing you for.
So, what you have is you have need of an escort for your sister to go to a town in the center of the kingdom, and you've told us about this count whose name I will not say again. Tell us what would be involved in escorting your sister? What dangers would we face along the way? What skills should we have? What do we need to know?
There are regular traders who travel between the the two cities. The dangers they face are often wolves and birds, sometimes the occasional hag or skeleton lurking out of the forest. The undead sleep restlessly here.
It's a very good question. Well, we should...
If you do meet a hag, I don't recommend taking any gifts from them.
We should gather the others and make a plan.
As you say that, we're going to fade back over to the other three who are gathered around Professor Gregor as he gets his alchemical tools out and starts looking at this pie. And Ivan
gathered around the
looking
light
at
of the Bunsen burner.
If you save that one
Sure.
corner, it's okay. You don't have to test on all of it. The one with the big piece of bacon, I think it is.
This lovely bacon and sage pie.
I smell beets.
Beets. I see beets. You can see the little cooked pieces of beet. It was an expertly laid trap, if that is what we have.
Tell me how you're going about this.
I think Professor Gregor is cutting into the pie and taking sort of samples, and he's putting them in tubes and using his knowledge of alchemy, subjecting them to various reagents in order to try to identify the substance that is within them, that sort of identify the active ingredient or ingredients alchemically.
And are you proficient with your alchemist supplies?
Not only is he proficient with his alchemist supplies, he's also said he's looked above and made a quiet plea under his breath and is affected by guidance.
You
well.
may roll your toolkit with proficiency. So intelligence is your skill in this case, and add a d4 to it for the guidance.
Guidance can't stack, can it?
It cannot. No.
Okay.
All right, let's look. So it's, I think, int based.
Yes, intelligence.
So I should have this here. Ability used intelligence. So that's plus proficiency. So I will then add a d4. That takes me up to 15, which is enough to beat the DC. Just barely make the DC of identify substance. With let me print the alchemist supplies description here.
So you are looking at this, and
There you go.
it is clearly made with various local fruits and vegetables. And there is some sort of meat that's in this. The meat appears to be what you suspect to be maybe pork of some sort. And the crust is very fine and flaky. And you get a slight detection of course, flour is in there. But for some reason, bone meal is also in the crust.
What you got there, Gregor? Figure anything out?
Bone meal, some sort of pork. Are we sure it's pork?
Yes,
Is it-
yes, you are.
We're sure it's pork. Do we have a better idea of the animal that supplied the bone meal?
I don't think you can. I think it's
No.
too far down the process for it.
Understood. But there doesn't seem to be any sort of adulterant. No, at least
Doesn't appear to be any adults in the pie, no.
adulterant.
Poison.
There's
Said bone meal.
bone meal mixed in with the flour, which is an odd choice.
That's the thing that strikes you as odd as you're going through this.
I'm not sure if it's poison, but it is. I think that is
It doesn't appear to be poisonous.
Or at least some sort of magical anchor. I think that might be what it is. That is actually a good question. Is there a knowledge skill that maybe? Arcana. I will make that and say another prayer. A quiet. I'm gonna spam guidance, but with role playing. Let's see. Skills. Arcana is there. And then add a plus a d4.
Yeah, and Father Gregor, tell me what it looks like when you cast a spell.
I think it's sort of a muttering sound, and he sort of grasps the holy sort of amulet that has been sort of displayed around his neck, which is a star with a pentagram with an eye in the center. Glances down at the intrusive thoughts lining the invisible chat alongside here, as he sort of holds the amulet and it glows in radiant light very briefly. And if you weren't looking at it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. But other than that, there's not a lot of physical traces. Just sort of a muttering.
The amulet kind of briefly glows as you do this.
Yeah. Indeed. So that brings us up to 12 on the Arcana check.
Okay. And what were you hoping to gain from this moment of research?
I think he's trying to figure out what the significance of the bone meal might be, or what would you use bone meal for in some sort of charmed treat?
Maybe as a thickening agent. So I'm going to appeal to Professor Gregor, not Father Gregor, but Professor Gregor, and thinking that primitive cultures would try and use all parts of the animal in whatever they're doing. So it's possible that could be all this is.
Yeah. And I think Professor Gregor also might note that flower of this, it's hard to call a fantasy world a period of time, would commonly contain a great many adulterants just on the face of it to thin out the flour. So bone meal isn't totally out of the question as something totally mundane.
No sawdust, though.
Yeah.
When I cast Identify earlier, one of the things about Identify is that if the item was created by a spell, you learn that spell's name. Magic was used to create this. Is there a specific spell that I would have gleaned that information from?
No, but I will give you that it was some type of ritual.
Okay.
It's some type of ritual magic, but not. So in that case, it's not like wave your hand, cast a spell type thing.
At the end of the day, Professor Gregor shakes his head and says, I can't find anything. There's bone meal in the flour, but that's not unheard of, especially.
My only concern is
trouble.
that some kind of a ritual was performed to make this, and I don't trust that. But Ivan, if you do.
Professor Gregor will push the remaining untested portion of the pie towards him and says, well, I can't find any reason to deny this to you.
Do you eat the rest of the pie?
I eat what has not been destroyed by the science yet.
I need you to roll a
This is
20-sided die
pretty
for
good.
me.
Well, I don't like that. Do I get to add anything to this?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
I'm adding stuff for you. Don't worry.
Faded. It's a 4.
It's a 4.
Mm.
Ivan, you thought this pie smelled fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
And then when you took your first bite out of it,
Yep.
it was rather blah, plain,
Oh.
almost flavorless. You're not sure what Professor Gregor did to it, but you're pretty sure he messed this pie up for you.
This is. Ivan goes bleh and just kind of spits out the bite, and you see the Steel Defender sniff at it.
Maybe there is magic in this pie. I've never seen that man turn down a beat in any form.
Was rather bland.
So, all right. I think I'm done with this. And Elliot turns and just starts walking towards the tavern.
Oh, you're right. This seems less important now. Let's go.
Professor Gregor remains to very carefully pack up his alchemy kit.
And as you walk away, Rax emerges from the tavern and waves you over.
And he's a little bit stumbly.
And Vince, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you step out of the tavern.
I can do that. Perception. I will perceive with my whole 10 points.
10 is sufficient in this case, because as you are looking out past them, as you wave them towards you, you see a shadow move close to the ground, swarm out from around the boxes, out across the ground behind them, and then it swarms back in. But it was just a shadow. Hard to tell what it was.
I assume I can't really investigate that further.
You are quite a bit away, but if you wanted, you could try to do something.
Yeah, I just, it's... I don't really have a ton of spells that will, like, what is the shadow? I mean, let's see, hold on. Let's see. Okay, can I do an investigation check of the shadow?
You would have to move closer to it, but yes, you could.
I'm going to move closer to it. That's a 6. I don't know anything.
As you get closer to it, you aren't sure that you actually saw something. You're getting, as you walk over to it, you're looking at the ground, you're looking at the crate, and it's all like kind of cleared off. There's nothing here. It's kind of, you had these moments in the past where you thought you saw something and then you looked at it again and you didn't.
That was Vince who saw that, right?
Right now is yeah, well, maybe.
Okay.
Vic
I'm not
and
sure. Yeah.
Rax are all intermingling right now. So now you kind of are in this lost state of whose memory am I recalling?
Oh, that's funky.
But you don't see a shadowy thing now.
All right. I disengage from whatever that was, and I wave everybody into the tavern.
Everyone heads into the tavern. It's pretty empty in here. There's a bartender. It's a large open room, probably 60 feet across. There's one man sitting at a table. His feet are up on a chair. He's got a bottle next to him. A couple glasses. And he motions for you to come over.
Blake's sitting next to him, right?
Blake, are you still sitting next to him, or did you go out with Vince Rax?
Blake is standing just in the room. I think I started going after Rax, so I'm just kind of like in the room, in the middle of the room now, waiting for you guys.
So what do you want to do when they come back in?
I know that Ismark is waving them over, but I think Blake actually tries to usher you guys to our own corner, just for us at first. I think Blake tries to go sit at a table kind of away from Ismark and hope that they follow.
I'm going to look over to Ismark and look over at Blake and look over at Ismark and look over to Blake. And there's a small part of Rax that's more interested in Ismark than he is interested in Blake. But he recognizes that Blake probably has the right idea, and he sort of gives a hang on a minute hand motion to Ismark and then goes over to Blake.
Elliot walks up and he's just, stupid magic bone pie bullshit. You, ale. And he just points to the bartender.
So, was the pie anything?
I think
No.
I was a red herring.
I only tasted bland chicken. It was kind of gross.
Probably would have been better
Smell.
if it was herring.
The bartender brings over 3 tankards of ale and puts them down. Actually, probably 5, because you had gotten up away from your table, and he'll bring a tankard over for everybody.
So, we got some good
Sit down.
information from that guy over there.
The one who's still waving at us.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to talk to you guys first because I don't know what exactly his deal is, but he said that the missing people, we think of missing people, like came into town like a day ago, last night or the night before, something like that. Some kid saw them. That's apparently not normal for new people to come into town, so we have a lead there. We also, Rax, do you want to share our other little bit of news?
This guy wants us to escort his sister to another town. It would be a dangerous mission, and there's a count who rules this place, and I should not say his name out loud. And apparently he's trouble. And Rax, Rax doesn't know a ton about him, and Vince doesn't know anything about him, obviously. Rax is saying all of this out loud, just trying to wrestle with the different memories, like conflicting in his head. And what I know is there is a danger here with that count, and he might. Blake asked a very good question about the appearance of this count, and it might match our faceless man with the rings. As far as the mission, the escort mission, I just don't know if that's central to why we're here, but it might be worth exploring.
How would bringing someone to the next town over save someone from the count?
I don't
Presumably
know.
controls the next town. That's not like a local.
I think that would be a question for our friend over there.
Yeah, buddy, we get it. We're having a sidebar. We'll be right there.
Hey, Elliot, can I talk to you over here for a sec? Can you you're like at not you're like at a 12, and I think we need you at like a 6.
And Elliot pauses for a second. He goes, huh. Yeah, I don't know what came over me. That was weird. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, cool. Drink some beer.
There's a moment that where the inn is silent, tavern is silent after that, and then the door bursts open, and a dark-skinned, red-haired woman steps into the room. She is carrying with her a basket, and she looks angry. Her eyes scan from one to the bartender to your table, and then they lock on Ismark. And then she comes over there and she drops the basket on the table in front of him. Goes, he won't come to the door. He won't answer. I can just hear him inside there, and it sounds like all he's doing is screaming and crying, and he won't answer. We need to get that door open. You're the Burgermeister here now. You need to do something. You can't spend the rest of your days just sitting in the bar getting drunk. And Ismark looks at her and says, you're right. I am the Burgermeister. And if I want to sit in the bar and get drunk, I certainly can do that. It's not safe for you here. You shouldn't be out wandering around. The priest can take care of himself. and try not to make a scene because I'm hoping to get an escort to get you to Valaki. And she goes, I don't need an escort. I need to get in there to see Father Donovich and make sure he's okay. No one's talked to him in days. You can't tell me this is right. And then she sits down and they lean in. You can tell they're arguing back and forth, but they decided that that conversation is going to be a little quieter than it was initially.
I think we're going to see
they
Father
look
Donovich
nothing alike.
now. Professor, Father, whatever Gregor is today, is sort of muttering to himself and squinting at something that's like, there's nothing directly in front of him, but it's sort of, he's staring into like just in front of his eyes, sort of, and stands up, not having taken a drink.
And there's a moment there, Vince, where Father Gregor has got this stare going off into space, and it reminds you of the look the bartender gave you when you started talking to him.
You okay there, Gregor?
No, nothing here is okay.
Well, besides the general not okayness, what about you?
Oh, yeah. He sort of waves his hand and starts to
Are you
sort of-
remembering yourself here? Is that causing you conflict?
Maybe.
We're all going to have to deal with it. We just have to sort through the memories and realize that we exist in both places and that our personalities are different in both places and our existence is different in both places. And he says this as he raises a beer. And he says that our life experiences are different in both places. And he takes a drink.
Maybe. Something about the... You may be right, Vrax.
Yes, call me Rax here.
But I think we need
Can I have
to
you
go.
roll a 20-sided die for me?
Hi, yep, nope, trouble, 1 sec, roll D20. Boom, 10.
Thank you.
Does my head explode?
Not yet.
I don't think we know enough, Vrax,
No, obviously
to
we
come
don't. We
to
don't
that
know anything.
conclusion.
We don't know anything. We
Yes.
know that, but I do know that I have two people in my head. And they're both fully formed people. And that is difficult to hold.
Sounds busy.
As you're thinking about the idea of two people in one head, let's stop. Prepare for the next step of our journey, wherever that might be.